Now. All right. Welcome to the Huddle. I'm your host, Coach Muddle. And yes, Professor, I'm still working on getting your music that you did for the show on this new computer. So hopefully we should soon, I'm kind of technically challenged getting the music up and everything. So,
Kind of, Coach.
Yeah,
you need a professor. Yes. That's what you need.
I know.
He needs you to tutor him, Professor. That's what he really needs.
That's exactly what I need. I do need some tutelage in the way of technology. So, with that being said, it's Wednesday. The madman Mark Mancini should be joining us shortly. So we'll see how that goes. But as always, the greatest handicapper on the planet graces our show every day.
That's right.
Nevada Nick.
That's right, Coach. Yeah, so, yesterday you said the greatest in the country. I said the
country. You got mad, so now I had to bump it up.
So everybody knows too, picking 100% during since the coronavirus, after the coronavirus. So right now I'm picking 100% since that. I mean, 21-1, but I'll take it. You know what I mean? Better knowing one.
There you go. That's right.
And it was like I said, it did pay out 3.5 to 1 too. It was obviously we talked about the UFC fight Saturday night. I had Justin Gaethje. I had him at plus 160. Ended up shooting up to over plus 200. And I put him with Bryce Mitchell, who I liked, and both had dominant wins. Look, I like UFC. I wouldn't say I don't order every single pay-per-view, but that just shows you. But not a Nick. He just needs to see a little here, a little there, and he's dialed in. And boom, throws out a UFC parlay, and he hits it 3.5 to 1.
There you go, man. There you go. Right. Rocking and rolling.
I'll probably have a win or two for this weekend's race in Darlington too. I'll throw something out there.
Oh, okay. All right.
A couple of things, Well, hey, if you can gamble on a Coach, I'm going to do it now. I'll bet on anything now.
Absolutely. We know.
I've just started the studying of table tennis because you can bet table tennis. So I'm trying to find the different better. I wish Forrest Gump was out there because he was a heck of a table tennis guy.
That's right.
I'd be betting Forrest Gump all on the board all the time. So, but yeah, trying to do that, and then they have people actually betting simulated Madden and NBA 2K games.
That's crazy.
My buddy loves it. I'm just like I couldn't see myself doing it, but when you need action, you need action.
I know, and here's the thing. I used to do a Madden tournament for a fundraiser for the kids for football. What a moneymaker, first of all, for doing that. But if you're not involved, it's hard to sit there and watch it on TV. Like, I don't get to kids today sit and watch YouTube of guys playing video games.
Right.
To me, it's, if I'm not playing it, what do I need to watch you play for? Unless I'm the next guy up or something, I mean, one of the things I don't get it, but we'll see. So,
it's a different world we live in. So
it absolutely is. So we're just rolling along though with this. So we'll see. As things start opening up, I know Arizona just made professional sports. They're allowed to be a essential business, basically. So you have Florida, you have Arizona. I'm not sure of any other state that has done that. So really, that's the thing. I think. What does New York do? Because I see New York, that happens. When you hear about it, you think that's the epicenter of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
And how it is. So how are you going to play baseball there? I just don't. That's the issue.
And it's going to be hard too. How do you keep all the players away? You got to wonder what they're going to do.
Right, because back in the day, Derek Jeter, he lived downtown. He used to take the train to the game. I mean, he wasn't a guy that drove in or you'd see him walking downtown. I mean, obviously later in his career, he wasn't taking the train. He's one of the most recognized guys in the city, but early on. So I just don't know how that's going to work in the big places, you know?
Well, I like I said, I just think they're going to have to work around that. Basically, I think there's certain states, teams may have to go elsewhere. And look, if the Yankees have to play in Florida, it's going to be in front of a packed house wherever it may be. It's the
Absolutely.
Yankees.
Now, like
So,
you look at Toronto, because I believe,
mhm.
don't they have a hotel in the stadium? There's a
No, that's the
hotel.
old stadium. Yeah, they
Oh, is
used
that the
to.
old one?
Back, yeah, that was
Okay.
the old stadium. The new one, no. But yeah, they used to, because I remember when the Phillies played them in the World Series. That was the big thing. Can you imagine having a hotel room and looking down, and
Yeah,
then you're
watching the
watching the World
game.
Series? That's like awesome, man. I mean, I'm sure it was expensive, but man, what an experience that could be.
And what about because was it Roberto Alomar, Sandy Alomar, one of the Alomar
Roberto,
brothers?
he played
He
for him.
played there and he lived right there.
Second base.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he lived in the hotel
Oh
at
yeah,
the
yeah,
stadium.
right.
He never left the place. You know, he never
Yeah,
had to leave.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, they had a bunch of a couple guys I think that played there.
Right,
That
right,
lived there too. Yeah, I mean,
right.
why not? You're right at the park after a game. You go upstairs. Before a game, you're there. You wake up, roll out of bed. Probably half a load on. Still hungover, and you just go down and get that. Go swing the bat a little bit.
Yeah, because I just don't know. Now I know I saw something. Was it maybe it was a couple of years ago? But the Red Sox have like almost like a dorm room in their locker room. Like they have these special beds for the players so they get better rest. So like when they have those they finish a game, they got to go right on a plane and head out. They actually have the guys sleep there and then head out later, so they get a couple hours of sleep in these special beds or something. So I gotta believe a lot of teams have that. I mean, couldn't the guys just stay at the stadium? I mean, it's kind of collegey, that college
Yeah,
dorm
but
kind
right
of.
now you're looking about solving a problem for a couple months where you're in different circumstances that you're trying to look. I'm sure all these guys want to get paid. Imagine there's certain guys that are young and it's going to be their first year to get paid, so you're
Right.
eager to get paid. There's guys that are in their last few years and they know that and wind it down. You want to make every dollar
Right.
you can make. I mean, those guys are making a lot of money. They say, oh, they're making so much money. I get it. But there's also guys like Steve Pierce from the Red Sox, who was in the minor league a lot of his life and, made it to the game. And I know he ended up being World Series MVP and getting the half decent contract, but they're not like filthy rich to the point that
Right.
like everybody looks at like a Mike Trout contract, but not all those guys make Mike
Right.
Trout kind of money. You
Right.
know what I mean? So,
Right.
and you're only making this money for certain times. So you want to maximize, obviously what you can get out of your career. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, they're going to want to play. Owners are going to play. They just got to find a happy medium, and like you said too, they got to work around the components of it where are certain states going to be knocked out, and then those teams got to go to where they play spring training maybe and do that. But I think like I said, you got some smart people involved, they can figure it out.
Yeah, we're not involved in that, so we just get
Yeah.
to talk about it. So I just think it's it'll be fun regardless. But I really, like you said, I think baseball needs to kind of use this as kind of a chemistry set almost, and start trying to change some things to make the game more exciting.
Yeah.
And get more fans. But
yeah, the proposal they had, like we had talked before, it'll be whatever division you're in. So if you're NL East, you'll play only NL East and AL East. And instead of 3-game series, they're 6-game series. So that's how they'll play that. And then we didn't talk about this last time, Coach. They're talking universal DH, which we both are in favor of. I think, that would be great for baseball. And, you can kind of start teetering with some different things of what to do to implement into the game to make the game quicker and better. And, like one thing I think, too, I think 162 games is too long. Maybe you go down to 128 or whatever number you come at. It's just 162
right.
games is a long, long season. And, I wonder if they should, kind of maybe fiddle with that a little bit too.
I agree. I don't, do you, especially now you're having so many pitchers issues, arm issues and whatnot. I just think maybe shortening up the season might benefit them a little bit better, because if you're going to add some teams to the playoff round, then they don't have to play as many games.
Right.
So maybe you're right. Maybe 150 or 130, somewhere in that range, and start the season a little later. The weather's terrible in the beginning of the season. Start it a little bit later. Let spring training go either a little bit longer or start that a little later as well.
Yeah.
And get it, because the weather's been kind of crappy, and
Plus, baseball really doesn't really start ramping up, Coach, till after you get into Memorial Day. Kids get out of school in the summer, in June. Right. Colleges are done. Things start. I just think that's when you really start to see it pick up, too. And that's when baseball is better, too. You see the ball starts flying out of some parks because, it's warm and the air's thin. So, no, I just think, that's when baseball, I agree, maybe do an early May or something like that, and get them rolling. Because, they're done if, the World Series ends in late October. They're starting 3 months later, basically. 3.5 months later with spring training. It's long. It's just I don't think it's necessary.
Right. I think you started, instead of bringing the pitchers in February, bring them in March. We'll start spring training March 1st with pitchers and catchers. Then bring that in, and then April you start your games in April. Run that through April, and then May first weekend in May is opening weekend. That time frame there, and then you got those couple of early games. The Madman is here. He says, can we add him in? Let's try and add him up there.
I think it's working, Coach.
Oh, there he is. He's in. You there? Mark, you with us? You there? Mark, you got us? I think you got to take your headphones out. Can you hear us now? Because we can't hear you. We see you. Oh, wait. Hold on. Unmute. How about that? Unmute. How do I unmute him? It's not letting me.
Oh yeah, you can see it on his it's muted.
Yeah, it says unmute mic. I'm hitting the button, but it's not working. What does it say? You can't unmute guests because they've chose to mute themselves. Oh, he's muted. You're muted. You have to unmute yourself.
The question is he hearing you right now, Coach? Mark, if you're here,
hear him.
Okay. Oh, I can hear him now. I just heard him.
I heard him, but then he popped out again. It says he's muted again. But
I think
there you go.
There he is.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. How you doing, buddy? I don't know. We lost. It says he's unmuted, but I think he had the same issue that you had, Nick. Is when you
headphones?
When you use the headphones with the speaker in it, it is for some reason it doesn't work, because my mic doesn't work when I plug it in, and I think it's this system that we're using. So I'm not 100% sure.
Just par for the course,
Yeah, hey, this is how we roll here. We'll par for the course. I'm gonna put him backstage, so to speak, until he can get it.
He's in the green room, but
he's in the green room,
black room right now, where it's just empty.
Yeah, in the black room. We'll get you, Mark. We'll get you situated, buddy.
Where Coach has no food, no water. No couch.
Nothing. No couch. No nothing, man. That's the great thing about being on lockdown. Everybody's home. If you don't have any drinks or your couch or anything, that's on you. All right, because you're in your own green room. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to supply anything. But let me
trust
just
me, that's
tell you,
the way Coach likes it.
I want to
That's
just
the
give
way
a
Coach
shout
likes
out.
it. Good.
That's right. Absolutely. Because wait a second, I just want to give a shout out because it is Coach Austin, who's big friends of the program. Coach Austin, it's her birthday. Okay. And she will attest because I'm going to bring her on here soon. And she can attest to the spread in the green room that I put on for her and her whole entourage that came in to the studio. Okay.
The field hockey coach?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Absolutely. So so let's see. We got you, Mark. Got you. Hello. I don't know what the I think it's your headset. Yeah, I think it's your I think you got to unplug the headset.
Going in and out too.
Yeah, it could be his internet connection too.
Mm.
So
can you hear me now?
Oh. Get it.
Oh,
you're a little sideways, but that's all right.
Whatever works, upside down.
We don't care.
As long as we can hear him, it's all good.
Yeah. We kind of hear you a little bit.
I don't hear anything.
See, I hear a little bit, like it's like muffled, but and I think that's what it is. Mark, I think it's your microphone headset. If you just unplug it, unplug the headset.
Yeah, because he said he can hear you. So
right. So if you unplug your headset, hello. Because now I hear it, like when you unplug it.
Yeah, I know. It sounded like you unplugged
it. Yeah, unplugged it, and we hear it. But I think he plugs it back in. It might be. Just unplug it completely.
Coach is like the technical help now.
Yeah, I'm the technical help.
When you're on Verizon. Coach walking you through it.
There you go.
Unplug it for 10 seconds and let it restart.
Yeah. Trying to get it going here.
Is it working?
Well, I don't know how that what the deal is, but we'll get it. Oh, there you go, guys. I heard him there. We hear like it's there and then it's not.
Right. The picture's dark now.
Like I hear you breathing, Mark. the old phone breather.
Yeah. You can curse too if you need to, madman. You know,
yeah, it's fine. We got no FCC here, so it's fine. you gotta drop something. It's fine.
Oh, there he goes. It's gone.
All right. So we'll take him down until he can get it back.
The madman is gone mad, I think.
There you go. And then I'm gonna bring it this way, and then when he comes back, we'll go back the other way. So. Right. You know, it's funny how this thing works here because we got you, can move things around mid-show like this, but we're getting it, we're getting there.
Yeah.
So
baby steps and real baby steps too.
Yes, absolutely. First we got to spell our name right. We spell the name right.
2 days in a row now.
2 days in a row. That's
YouTube, right. Facebook, everything behind. Coach, it looks like you're 100% today.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you. That's an A+. I mean,
thank you. And the podcast is up. So, guys, if you want to go check this out, like while you're walking the dog later, you can check it out. It's up wherever you listen to podcasts: Apple, Spotify, Google, all of those venues where we take this show and put it up, the audio version, just for you guys, so you can take us anywhere. So. Absolutely, it's fun, but let's get back a little bit with the with baseball, a little bit and how they do that, because I could see the Yankees having to play in Florida for a little while, and whatnot. So,
it's going to be tough with the Northeastern teams. I mean, it's kind of bad in PA. New
Right.
York, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how
Boston is, but
yeah, I don't know how I don't know how Boston area is right now, but
even now,
California,
DC, California, you got some states that are really hit pretty heavy with it. So,
right.
But I honestly, I think they're going to have to use the venue, Arizona. I think Arizona, Texas, and Florida.
Florida, yeah.
But Texas, what is it going to be? Texas, because what do you got? You got Houston and.
Well, you can play in Dallas, Jerry Dome.
But it's not really baseball. I mean, you're really going to modify
No, I know,
that,
but they can make it work. I'm sure.
I mean, yeah, but I just look at it as where a guy's going to stay. At least if you play where your spring training is, you already got your facilities, you got everything set up for baseball.
Well, I'm sure you could play at some of the local colleges' stadiums. You're not going to get the bigger crowds, but that might be better.
Well, I don't think you're going to play in front of any crowd.
Oh no, right? Good point. No. I'm saying later in the season, I would hope if they get into August, I don't know, or maybe it is going to be a season, which that's going to be weird. Although, look, I want baseball, and I think people adjust just because it's different. Wrestling is different without fans, but I think baseball, it's all going to be when you first hear it, like very weird seeing zero fans. It's just going to be an adjustment. It's odd. You don't hear the crowd roar when a guy hits a home run. It's going to be an empty crowd. That's going to be odd, but. There's still going to be the competitive part of it. It's still a game. There still needs to be a winner. So once it gets ramped up, I think people will get used to it, especially now when people are dying to any type of content, watch anything.
Right. Sorry, I'm texting the madman, trying to instruct him and try to instruct.
Oh man, you mean to spell check for you, Coach?
No, we're good. I got a bigger phone, so hopefully it would have bigger letters, and it doesn't. And my big sausage fingers, man. Bad stuff. I wind up texting people. I'm trying to think I'm texting other people. I text different people. It's so. I texted a coworker this morning breakfast when I was trying to text my daughter who's upstairs for breakfast this morning. I'm like, but
well, you're at the beach though, Coach, so you can't complain. Come on now.
Right.
You can't complain.
I can't complain. It's down at the beach, and we'll get it. We'll see. He's going to try and pop back on here and get going with us. I hope it's. We're going to try that instructions. Hopefully, it works for him. So good stuff. And let me just and we'll get it going. I'm working it to try to, when we get sports back, it's just, we're still football. We'll see training camp, how that's going to work. Especially with, like you said, teams in the Northeast, the Eagles, they, the Eagles, they practice right there downtown, right next to the stadium. The Giants, they're right there at the stadium now. So,
I think I'd be surprised if they play preseason games. I think they're going to knock them out. Just with everything's going on. I mean, as crazy as it sounds, we're preseason games are only 3 months away now.
Right.
And most of us are in a lockdown situation, whatever you want to call it. So to go in 3 months from where you're locked down to where you're playing preseason football games. I'm not saying that I think the regular season's fine. I just wonder if they're going to see the point of an empty preseason stadium, you know what I mean, and have a game for what,
Well, my view on this. I am all for the preseason because how do those undrafted free agents really get
practice? I know there's some that have that play coach, but I think a lot of them win it in training camp. I know you putting it on film is important, but still, I think a lot of that's won in training camp. And those guys say you're gonna show yourself in training camp too. I mean, they're not going to base. I mean, look, the game is important, no doubt about it, but it's and look, it's when the lights are on too. So that is definitely part of it.
Yeah, I agree, and I honestly I think the whole thing with the preseason games shouldn't be. It shouldn't be us as season ticket holders have to pay full price for a preseason game because they're meaningless. So
and you pay for 2 of them a year too. It's
right.
almost
It's
they
two
should
of
wear
them.
masks when you go to those games. Seriously.
Right. But you know what? It should be a hold on. I'm going to try and bring Mark in here, but it should be free for the food. Mark, you with us? I think I hear him. Can you hear us?
Gotta see you guys.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you.
How are you?
There you go. We're doing great.
You.
All right. You can't hear us though. We hear you.
Yeah, we heard you there.
I can hear you a little bit. You're breaking up, but yeah, from what I'm hearing.
Okay.
All right.
Now we got him.
All right, we got the Man Mark Mancini, XM Radio, the stable and networks. Nice enough to bring me in Cleveland last night. Had a lot of fun with those guys over there in Cleveland. So fun stuff. Going through the gamut of stables, as we call them. So it's good stuff. Going on with that, and now Mark, we're talking a little baseball. What do you think with the proposal? In, out. We're still having some technical difficulties with it. So, but all right, there it's going. We'll. And actually, I think it's on his end. It's not our end. It might be his internet connection. So with that, what do you think? That, and then look at that, Nevada Nick. I'm playing with this thing here because now look, show, bam, look at that. Oh, but it takes your name. It takes your name off. So, I can't have your name on there. So I got to have your name up on the thing. So
this is going to be on YouTube on how not to do something.
This is great, man. We're working the kinks out. So now I'm gonna bring Mark back on and try it again. Yeah, Adam, there he is. I see him one-where, and I don't see him up on the screen, though.
I can hear Nick.
Oh, what's up, man?
Relax.
We got him a little bit.
Breaking up, I can hear you. It might be a connection.
That's so weird.
Yeah,
I Johnny Damon.
Yeah.
Did he say I look like I ate Johnny Damon? Is that
what he said? No. Oh man. That's funny. No, man. I think it's he's got the beard going like that.
Baseball.
Yeah, we're talking a little baseball, with the new proposal and what they're trying to do, and seeing if it can't work. How about the Northeast, especially you in California? I just saw where they're going to start, bringing martial law down in California. So how are you supposed to play?
Well, they're all going to move to Arizona, man. California shut down, man. The governor says we can't leave for 3 months.
Crazy.
This thing might be locked down till Christmas.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. So and again, that affects football too. What are they going to do? What are they going to do with with football as well. Like you said, Nick, it's 3 months away till preseason. So how's that affect everybody? Training camp opens in 2 months.
Yeah. Luckily for them, you're going to see they'll follow what, UFC's kind of started off here as the first sports company to return, see what happens with baseball, hockey, and NBA. So, the NFL is going to be kind of like following the footsteps of, you know what I mean? So
Right.
there'll be other plans out that they can probably follow and actually make better. So like I said, you kind of got to see what's going to happen. Who knows right now? I mean, I'm not,
Right.
I don't have any predictions on that because, right now, who knows?
Yeah, we'll have to see how that all plays out.
I think Man's back in the witness protection
Yeah,
program.
the man, he went off again. So we'll try him again. We'll try and get him on again. I think he'll. That's why I try to get him on earlier so I could kind of go through the kinks like you and I did. We got on 15 minutes early. We got on couldn't figure out how to spell my name right, but we at least we got some stuff worked out, and it's kind of that's the situation when you have a guest and it's their connection sometimes because this is the second Coach Muddle show because Coach Mudd did the first show, and Coach Muddle this is our second show, and I think on our end it's kind of worked out pretty well. I think.
Yeah. That's MU 2Ds LA, right, Coach?
Yes.
Not 3Ds.
Not 3Ds.
Not
missing an L. Yeah, man. Yeah, so we're getting there.
We're 1 for 3 now. Basically, last night was okay. The first night you didn't spell your name right tonight. A lot of technical difficulties.
Yes.
Like riding a bike, though. He'll fall off the bike and get back up, and
you get back on and you just keep going. That's right. That's all you can do, man. It's fun, and it's always something fun going on here in the in the huddle. So
all right, welcome to the huddle.
I don't know why
what was that? And what are you doing?
I don't know. My phone just went into it just started going like playing our show. So it's kind of
maybe put it down,
yeah. What are you gonna do? I don't know. So we'll see how that works. But getting it going. We'll get some people in here and get them going. Yes,
we'll get them in here.
We'll hopefully we'll get them in. We'll get the internet going. And
yeah, I don't know what the problem was there. That was weird.
Yeah, I think it's more on him and not me.
So Mark, Coach is throwing you under the bus there. Then basically saying,
I just think
Mark's got a cheap, streaming rate. I guess he doesn't have a lot.
Come on, man. I don't know. I'm just trying to get it going, get it out there, getting some folks tuning in the show. So we're having some fun, talk a little baseball, talk a little NFL, and talk about our stuff. That's what's going on. So hopefully it's we got it going, and we'll see. But we'll get Mark back on next week. We'll get all these kinks worked out as we go along, and hopefully, little baby steps. Eventually, we'll be able to take your calls again. You guys will be able to call in soon, hopefully. And right now you can always jump on the stream and type in your comments and questions. And anything else that you'd like to discuss, but we always appreciate you guys checking us out on Facebook. Just type in Coach Muddle. I pop up now. Nevada Nick, he is on social media. Just type in Nevada Nick. Nevada Nick Wins is the because now everybody knows your last name. It's Nick Wins, so Nevada Nick Wins, man. How easy is that? It's with a Y, not an I. Nick Wins with a Y, not an I. There you go.
There you go. You got it, Coach. Good job.
Thanks, man. So yeah. So we got things going right now with our little setup here, and we're just growing. We're taking, like you said, we're taking baby steps, real small steps, and we'll get it going a little bit more as we go along, and get better and get things rolling. So it'll be a fun. It's a fun ride as always, It always is, So we keep it going. Now, Nevada Nick, I want to ask you about the what was it you or Tanner? And I know because I talked to some other people about the Bears yesterday as well. Was it you guys who said that the Bears are conceding the division, or was it Tanner to the Vikings by with their draft this past season?
He must have said it. I didn't say it. The Bears. I think last year they were a quarterback away from
I agree.
And I think if first of all, it's Nick Foles. He was successful with Peterson and that team around them, but now he's going to play for Matt Nagy, who's going to do some of the things Doug Peterson did for Nick Foles for him to be successful. So the Bears have a good defense, and Foles is that kind of guy that can go and you say, look, make some plays, but don't turn the ball over too. I think he's an improvement on Trubisky. I really do, especially when you talk about like leader of a team and just a lot of those things. I think a lot of people question whether Trubisky was the guy. Foles, I don't think there's going to be those questions, and that's important. You know that, Coach.
Right, absolutely. I question Trubisky because he only played 3 or 4 college games. He really played a half a college season in the ACC. Even it wasn't like he was at Alabama and played that type of schedule. He was at North Carolina in the ACC.
Well, Coach, the worst part of it still, no matter what, they trade up when they could have stayed put and got Mahomes or Watson.
Yes.
You're talking about franchise changing there. They got a guy who now they declined the 5th-year option on him to having a transcendent talent, either of those guys. I would take Mahomes, obviously, but still, Watson's pretty damn good too. And they're franchise-changing players, and you're with Trubisky now, who probably will be wearing a different uniform next year, that's crazy to me.
Right, and
it's a fireable offense, don't you think, Coach? I'm surprised he still has his job.
I absolutely agree with that 100%. 100%. It is a fireable offense because, that is your job as the general manager, because that's the key piece. That's the key to, winning championships, especially in a league that is all about throwing the football. And I know we go back, offense puts them in the seats, defense wins championships, but this is a throwing league. Back in the day, it was an oddity when a quarterback threw for 3,000 yards. Oh my God, Dan Marino threw for 3,000 yards. Holy cow. Now it's like, all right, now it's the 5,000 yard mark. It's like, okay, wow, you're having guys hit that 5, and we're going to see more and more guys do that. And so you need that key cog on your offense to be able to do that. And I never thought Trubisky was that guy. And really, you gave up a ton of talent, meaning you gave up some draft picks, and then you went out and got a really game changer on defense, because that tells me you're in a win now situation with a young quarterback, and obviously it's falling apart on you. And so we'll see. And also they let Prince Ukamura walk, former first round pick from the Giants, who I really never thought played very well with the Giants. I know he bounced around a little bit and did have a good season with the Bears. I mean, the Bears, people were talking about him.
And they lost Trey Burton too, who was a former Eagle. A third tight end on the Eagles was a little bit more inconsistent if you would consider him your starting tight end, obviously, when he played for the Bears.
Right.
But he left and they brought in Jimmy Graham, who really hasn't been anything. He's a decent tight end since he's left. I mean, but he was a top 5, top 3 tight end, maybe the best tight end in the league when he was with the Saints. He went, the Seahawks, and just hasn't looked the same really. He had his last run with the Packers, and now, we'll see with him. I'm not, I think he's at the tail end of his career.
Oh, absolutely. And of course they draft the Floyd, who's a former number 1 pick that they got, really didn't work out with them. And wound up, didn't he sign with the Rams or the Raiders? I want to say one of those teams signed him. But Floyd, anyway, they lost him on defense as well. So we'll see. We'll see. I thought the Bears, like you said, I thought they were really a quarterback away from doing some things, and they really,
because their defense was playing good in the beginning of the year, and then I think, Coach, it too. When you're on the defense, where you're at the point where if you give 2 touchdowns up, you're worried about winning a game. That becomes. It becomes demoralizing. You almost need to be perfect. And I think sometimes you don't want to use they don't quit, but it just, after a while that wears you down. Plus you end up tending to being on the field more because you don't have a good offense. You're not sustaining drives. So, and that really wears on you. That's what time of possession, man. Over the course of the game and over the course of the season, if you're losing the time of possession game, it wears on you. Trust me, more likely to be on the field for injuries, everything. It's just, it doesn't work in your favor.
Absolutely. Because you're constantly thinking, oh man, how much time do I have on the sideline? You're that internal clock in your head is just like bam, 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 because you're trying to, and obviously at that level, it's a lot different because it's a lot bigger thing, but you're trying to get with guys and make adjustments and do things. And it's kind of hard when you only have 3 minutes, or 4 minutes, because the offense went 3 and out and they're moving, they're moving at that hurry up pace so quickly, and it gets you, and you don't have any time to rest, man. Your motor's going.
One thing I think it's going to be interesting too, Coach, is if we do have a preseason, is seeing those teams with new coaches that haven't had those OTAs. What effect does that have, early on? Just because no matter what, reps are reps, they're mental reps. You know what I mean? And a coach too, that has importance. Like when you're going to a play and you're questioning what you're doing, I mean, that should be the first thing. Boom, it's checked.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
On to the next thing. But it's a problem if you don't, and it's just a repetition. You need it. And I'm curious to see how that looks in the preseason, especially, like I said, with rookie coaches, rookie head coaches, and then coaches with new teams, and then, also rookie quarterbacks and players of that such. What's up?
Absolutely.
What are you laughing about?
Because I don't know why it's not popping up on this stream, but there's
Coach,
another thing on. So,
leave that one behind you. That would just let that go, Coach.
Yeah, I just did go. So,
I wouldn't go down that road.
I'm just not going down the road. So, but we're having
the stove's hot, Coach. Don't touch it. You know what I mean? You've been burned 4 times already. Please, I'm begging you.
So, now, just easy now. Now I'm telling you now. But it's going to be interesting. Of course, look at the Giants, but I think really those veteran teams, the Eagles, the Saints, they're really going to be teams that I think are going to be successful because of the amount of veteranship on those. Those young teams are going to struggle. Miami, I think the Giants, because they have a lot of turnover, new coach, it's going to struggle. The Redskins, new coach, a lot of turnover. So it's really going to struggle.
I like the Saints. I think, especially getting a guy like Jenkins to come back. I mean, he's a real leader. I mean, I know what the Eagles lost with him as a defensive player. I mean, adding him to your team. They did release the Pro Bowl guard, though, the other day, which I was a little surprised about, the right guard. But we'll see. I like the Saints, though. It's a veteran team. You got a top 5 QB, or, still, Breeze is one of the best. You got Michael Thomas, who I think is no doubt the best receiver in football. I mean, you got Sean Payton, a great mind. And that defense is good. They've really legitimized themselves in the last 2 years on defense.
Yes, absolutely they have. And I think that move by releasing the Pro Bowl guard is, they didn't have to pay him the center they drafted, the kid from Michigan, I believe,
right.
The number 1 center coming out in the draft. I loved him, yes, because I really thought the Giants could have really hit a home run by getting the tackle, and if they had traded back, gotten the same tackle, some extra picks, they would have been able to get center, tackle, and those were 2 big needs for the Giants. Saints, but I liked him. But
the Saints missed Max Unger too. I mean, they missed him on that line. He was a perennial, Pro Bowl center and, leader of your offensive line, quarterback of the line, and he was a great player. So they missed him. And like I said, I think that guy, I'm not saying he's going to be him, but still it shores up that middle of the line, which is important.
Oh, definitely. But I think they're going to move that. Either the center they have can play guard, or I think the kid they drafted can also play guard. So they're going to work him in relatively quickly, and it probably saved them some cap money somewhere along the line. So,
well, it's going to be interesting. I can't wait for football. I mean, I think the NFC is going to be wild. I think you got Tom Brady coming to the NFC now, and you get to see. I mean, I think Seattle and San Francisco is going to be a great battle to watch out in the NFC West. I mean, and then you got a team like Arizona, who I think is going to be dangerous, where I think they could beat any team on any given Sunday with a guy like Kyler Murray. But I'm not saying they're going to be 10-6, but they're that type of team where they can.
I agree with you. I agree with you. You don't know what team's going to show up,
what you're going to get, right,
and what you're going to get, and I think that was the. I always used to say that before they went to Arizona, when they used to be the St. Louis Cardinals.
Right.
With Neil Lomax and whatnot, it was. I really used to say they were a real Jekyll and Hyde team. You didn't know which team was going to show up, and on any given Sunday could take it from you. And
then you got the Rams, who I think are just. I think they kind of that Super Bowl year was kind of their peak.
Yeah,
I think they've gone and they're on the way down. I mean, they don't have much salary cap. I'd like getting Jalen Ramsey, but it was at what cost? They gave up a bunch of high draft picks, which they need on that team right now. I mean, they're older. They were spending a lot of money. We'll see. I think they can be dangerous, though. McVay's a genius, but their line's getting older too. Was it Timmerman or Zimmerman the right?
Zimmerman, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. He's older, so the guy from the Bengals. You know what I'm talking about,
right?
Coach, right?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes, because the Giants passed on him. The Giants passed on him, and then the following year they went with the swinging gate and Nate Solder. So,
that's what I think is really interesting about NFC. I mean, all the divisions are pretty good. Then you go to the South, and you got the Saints and the Bucks, which, some people question the Bucks, but still, it's going to be interesting. It's Tom Brady versus Drew Brees. I think that's going to be a great thing to watch. And you got a team like Atlanta and that young Carolina team with Matt Rule and Teddy Bridgewater.
But look, if you are a season ticket holder for the Tampa Bay Bucks, you get to see Tom Brady 8 times, but you get to see Tom Brady play Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers. Who's the other? I mean, their schedule. I looked at it. There's some top Matt Ryan. I mean, there's some top quarterbacks coming in to the matchup that you always look at. Oh man, those two against each other, really, and that you wouldn't think of. And it's really a who's who of games that they host 8 games
Yeah.
as you look at that. So
Yeah, I think every division there's 3 teams that all have a shot to compete. Basically, I mean, I really believe that. And I think in
yeah,
the
I just
North you
think
got but Packers. You got the Vikings. I think are going to be good, and then the Bears. I think have that potential if Nick Foles steps up, has a good year with that defense. I think Matt Nagy's a good coach. I think things could happen still.
yeah, I just think the Packers didn't do enough.
Mm.
When you have a quarterback that's, what is he, 36 years old, 35, 36, I mean, you're in win now. When you have a quarterback that age and he's your guy, you need to put some pieces around him now. And you went and traded up and got a quarterback. You did these things. I just feel like we're going to see Aaron Rodgers in a different uniform sooner than later. I don't think he finishes as a Packer.
I think that's definite now. I think that's definite because now, no matter what, he's going to have that chip on his shoulder. I know, it is kind of, he was in this situation 15 years ago on the other side, him coming in and Brett Favre being the incumbent quarterback. But yeah, we'll see. But I think, he's got probably a year or 2 left there, I would think, of good football. But it's not good because now, one bad game, and how fans can be, Coach. And then the locker room starts splitting too, and you got guys who say, "Oh, this guy's better," or how it goes, or second team guys who are playing with second team guys. Coach, how it works on a team.
Look,
man.
I've been. Listen. I at the college level, we had a quarterback. The head coach really thought this was the guy, but the team loved the backup guy. And you saw every time we put him in the game, it was a spark. And how many times I just remember a game, we come out of the elevator and the other team's coaching staff comes out, we're sharing the elevator. They go, "Wow, man, if you kept that guy in the game longer, if he played the whole game, you guys probably would have beat us." And it was things like that. It was just a tough year because you didn't have that, you didn't have everybody, you had a divided camp. And that was it was tough. And you didn't have a good season because of that. You couldn't make
That's
up your
what's going to
mind.
be interesting to see what happens in Dallas, Coach, with the Dak Prescott situation. You know what I mean? What happens? Does he get paid? Is he on the franchise deal? I think there's just a lot of risk there. Like, I said, if he comes out and has a mediocre year, then what? He's supposedly asking for over $40 million a year. I mean, that's a lot of money. And like we said, he's not a top 5 quarterback. So to me, if you're not a top 5 quarterback and you're getting offered a top 5 contract, you sign on the dotted line. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree 100%. 100% with that. I just think that he's just not going to, he's just getting bad advice. That's all I can say.
And they can franchise him 2 more years too and stretch it out even longer. So if he doesn't prove himself this year, that's what they may do again.
Well, if he franchises again, he'll probably be making that in that 40 million range,
Yeah, but still, he wants the those guys, they want the long-term security. Yeah. They're going to get a 5-year deal, 150, 200 mil. I mean, 90 to 100 a guarantee, Coach. It's
you're right.
It's big money, Coach.
Absolutely. Absolutely big money. Absolutely big money. So, all right, Nevada Nick, I appreciate you coming on. Yep. Hopefully we'll get Mancini. We'll get him right. We'll coach him up this week. We'll get him back on, and we'll have it right. We'll be back with him next Wednesday, and hopefully, Billy will be back with us. Honestly, I know he's busy Monday, and now, I don't know. He's, big timing us, I guess. I don't know what the deal is. We'll have to find out what the deal is with him. So, we'll go from there. But I appreciate everybody checking us out. Actually go over, don't forget, like our Facebook page. Of course, Nevada Nick has his own Facebook page. You go jump over there, like his page. And YouTube, got a YouTube channel now. We got this thing going up on YouTube, so you can check it out there. And of course, podcasts. So we appreciate it, everybody. Nevada Nick, thanks, man. We appreciate you.
No problem, buddy.
And we'll see everybody tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. We'll be back at 6. All right, everyone. Thanks. We will see you.